Hey Alex, this is Keaton Everett with ABC, going over your pitching video from camp. Going to go through and talk a little bit about your mechanics and stop at a few spots and talk a little bit about what we look for sort of throughout your delivery. You know, we just basically want to try to get you in a nice balanced position, you know, something that we can repeat, something that's efficient, and where we're using our lower half as sort of the main driving force behind baseball, that's where we get our velocity from, is, you know, taking the emphasis from that upper half to that lower body. All right, and you know, a lot of what's going to happen too with your mechanics as you get older, it's going to get easier to sort of perform a lot of these things because it's so much strength based, and so, you know, the ability for you to kind of understand it and see it now is going to help you out a lot as you get older and every season. So you know, we're going to start right here with your initial setup. You know, so much about how we set up and how we start is going to dictate a lot of how we're going to finish. All right, so what we always do is mark your head and mark your weight and watch what happens when everything gets going. All right, so you can see how your head really doesn't move, which is good. All right, a lot of times you're going to see guys' head kind of pop back out of that circle. Well, what you're going to see if you cue in on your shoulders here is you're going to see how your shoulders kick back. All right, so now there's the height of your leg lift right here. All right, and so your shoulders come back and your head stays out front. So what that's causing is a little lean posture. All right, and so we want to keep our posture nice and straight. And so instead of moving that, instead of keeping that head still, we wouldn't want to move it back with your body. Is we'd want to come set initially right here. All right, we want our shoulders to come set initially here. So now you have a straight posture. Your shoulders aren't leaning. All right, so then as we go back to start here, you know, that's your initial setup, is right there where those marks are. All right, so just come back, keep your head, you know, keep that weight over that backside. You don't need to change your feet. So then as we get to this leg lift right here, we're not leaning. All right, so now all our weight is basically out over this front side, but we want to keep our weight as long and as far down the mound as we can on our backside. All right, so we just want to try to stay back a little bit longer over this back leg. All right, another thing too of you know, I talked about hips driving everything, and when you get this foot kicking out, is you're going to see that foot sort of get out ahead of your hips, open up a little early, and that's going to take away a little bit of that power. All right, so all we got to do, you're getting good at getting it closed. You know, I like to see it back over that back foot, which is good. So now just try to get away from you know, turning it up and just have that foot dangling. All right, just pretend like you're pulling that knee up and not moving anything with your hip. All right, so just get that back, and what that's going to do is that's going to get your hips closed longer, just lead down the hill instead of this foot. All right, so as you start going through the motion, all right, your hands break back here. All right, you're getting real good drive with everything to your foot strike. And one thing that you can kind of work on is you can see how if you're watching that left arm, is it's really lagging. All right, you come through, you break your hands, and then it just kind of goes straight up and stays tucked in. And then you see it through that release. You don't really see your hand, or, you know, your glove. Obviously you don't have a glove on, but when you did have a glove. So try to think of letting this glove kind of follow that foot out a little bit more. All right, it's going to lag a little bit, but try to keep it on a path that follows that foot a little bit more. So now, you know, you're getting a little bit more like this. So at about this position, you know, your arm, you know, just really don't think about letting that glove get above your elbow. All right, it can get up this high. Just try to keep it, you know, turned down a little bit, so your glove, you know, instead of here, would be right here. All right, and it would be better too to have that glove right out here. All right, so now you're going to able to. It's going to help you out, and I'll explain a little bit of what that will do for you. But at foot strike, right here, so once that foot first hits the ground, which is about right here, all right, this is a pretty solid position for your age. All right, you know, you are staying back a little bit, which is good. All right, and And the more that we can initially get those hips set up, what you're going to see is because your hips are staying closed, you're going to gain a little bit more distance on that foot strike, and you're going to start seeing that knee get behind that that heel instead of having it over that heel. All right, so we're just going to gain, another little half foot of distance, which is going to help you out a lot. All right, and with that glove out here, all right, we want to try to get it out a little bit more. What you're going to see is you're going to try to keep that glove stuck out over that front foot. So as you rotate through release, that glove is going to be, we're still going to be able to see it in the picture here. And then through that release, what that's going to do is that's going to shift everything here. And now we're going to be throwing out over our front foot a little bit more. All right. So I'll explain a little bit more through that release point. So as you start to turn, you can see this left side start to go a little bit. And then as you turn, you see this back foot's going to pop up off the ground. All right. Now the ball's getting released between these two frames, and you can see that back foot's off the ground, so you lost power through your legs. And then you can see this angle right here with everything getting released right over there. You want to try to stay through your back leg a little bit more, so you're going to straighten up, and so now that's going to cause your head and your chest to get out over that front foot a little bit more, and now you're going to be releasing the ball from about right here, and now that arm's going to be probably out here releasing the ball. So you're picking up another 6 to 8 to 10 inches of release point. All right, you're gaining more power because you're staying through your legs a lot longer. And so it's strength, but it's just the lower half is so important that you got to stay through the leg a lot more, and then you're going to see yourself kind of fight that front side a little bit. Right here, you're going to see that front side stiffen up. And then you're going to watch this foot here kind of get up on your heel and then pivot. All right, we don't ever want to sort of finish up on our heel and pivot, and that's just because you were out on that front side a little bit, but you weren't driving through your back side, so your body just didn't really have any driving force to get you going forward to stay on that ball of your foot. So you just kind of have to rock back on your heel and then throw it. But again, pretty solid. For your age, everything's there. Now it's just a matter of getting that feel of staying back, keeping our hips closed, driving down the mound, and then following all the way through that back leg. It's a lot of kids your age. It's basically the same for them. It's just the strength deal. All right. So as you get older and get stronger, it's going to get easier for you. But it looks pretty good as it is now. Just kind of work on those few things. So, anyways, thanks for making it out to camp. Hopefully you had a great time. Good luck this year, and hopefully we'll see you again with ABC.